In money matters, the rand was broadly unchanged in early trade today, trading at 18.18 against the dollar, not far from its closing level on Monday. Greg Katzenellenbogen is the director at Sanlam Private Wealth, and he joins us now for the latest market developments. Greg, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. So the rand lost over 7% against the greenback in May, but it's managed to recover those losses in June. Can this be sustained, though?
I think it is sustainable in the short term. Obviously, South Africa has some challenges, but the rand is driven a lot by international events and flows, and it's quite a very liquid currency. And then when South Africa has some specific issues, then it can further affect the rand. But as I would say, as load shedding seems to have eased a lot, that has certainly helped the rand as well. And but also commodity currencies generally have also improved versus the US dollar. So, and also I think underpinning the strength of the rand is the fact that the Chinese are looking to stimulate their economy, try and get growth up to at least 5.5 or 6%, and those stimulus measures will certainly help commodity prices, which South Africa is a large exporter of commodities, and that will help the currency. So it is sustainable, and it's quite possible that it will fall below 18 to the dollar.
Long may that ease an improvement on our side last, Greg. So South Africa's leading business cycle indicator dropped a percentage or 1% from a month earlier in April 2023 from a 2% fall in the previous month. Help us make sense of the data and what clues it gives us about the country's economic outlook.
No, it's still that the economic outlook is pretty tough. There's about 10 constituents that they measure, and 7 declined and only 3 were up for the period under review. So some of the negatives were things like the interest rate spread, business confidence, commodity price index, manufacturing orders, those things. The positive signs were that, job advertisements were up, and real money supply was, M1 was up. So those were, but it still indicates that the economy is still struggling quite a bit, and we would need to see a significant turnaround before business confidence, the cycle improves.
Okay. Transaction Capital, which owns WeBuyCars and SA Taxi, has signed a deal with an unnamed bank to provide funding for its vehicle financing business. What do we know about the transaction?
Well, look, they didn't disclose who the bank was, but essentially, whereas they've been financing a lot of the cars on their own balance sheet, they will now be an originator for loans for this unnamed bank who will finance. Generally, banks don't finance cars under 5 years, over 5 years of age. And but what the benefit that Transaction Capital has here is that they have this very big WeBuyCars where they sell about 12,000 cars a month. So if a bank was to finance a vehicle over 5 years and the person doesn't pay and they repossess it, then WeBuyCars will be able to sell it on their platform. So they're an originator, and they'll get a cut of the interest charge. But the important thing is that they won't be financing it from their own balance sheet, and that will give them some breathing room.
Stats SA is set to release the latest tourist accommodation numbers for April. What to expect from them, and what will it tell us about the health of the sector?
Yeah, well, I haven't seen those numbers yet. I think they'll be released in the course of the day. But generally, after COVID, there has been an uptick in tourists visiting South Africa, although we're not back, I think, to the pre-COVID numbers. Obviously, we're entering a period now where in our winter tourist numbers will be down, but we still have a benefit. But South Africa is quite attractive and wins many of favorite places to visit awards in the world. So I think that hopefully when the data will show that tourist numbers to South Africa are increasing, and that should give the hospitality industry a nice boost.
Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, Director at Sanlam Private Wealth, Greg Katzenellenbogen.